Hey, good day everyone. It's Saturday, March 16th. We are 1 week from the Tennessee Youth Turkey Hunt. And before I got started up at the house, spraying off all my clothes with permethrin and getting everything ready, and my son's clothes, getting ready for the hunt next weekend, figured I'd take another walk around through another section of the pines. I stayed along the property line in my last video, walking the fences to see if I could find any sheds. There are there's 4 different trails that side hill out through here, going through the pines at different elevations. And I'm just going to wander, squirrel, and I'm just going to wander along these trails and just see if maybe I can get lucky and find where maybe a buck has dropped some sheds. These trails, 3 of the 4 trails are very heavily used. I mean, they are a war slick. So we'll see what we can find. I also did just hear a gobbler across the holler, across the valley, back over there on the other ridge top. That's actually my uncle's farm over there. I've been seeing a lot down in his pasture fields, but that's the first gobble that I've heard over there so far this season. So it's a little chilly this morning. It was down around freezing overnight, but I think as the sun pops up here and things start to warm up, the activity is going to pick up. So see what we can find. And it's kind of interesting walking these trails. So right now I'm on the highest elevation trail in the pines. So the pines go down the hill here. This thicket goes down the hill here behind me toward the road. My house just sits right up there. And what's funny is this trail stays right up along the upper edge of the pines until you get to this little spot where you can actually see my house, and it actually drops down the hill a little ways. Just try to stay out of sight of the house, and then right up here it pops right back up to the top again. It's amazing how these deer do their trails. And you know, had they kept their trail right up along the edge of the woods, the pines, like they have over there and out here, I probably could see them walking in the pines from my back porch. But because they dropped down the hill another, I don't know, 10-12 yards or so, it now takes them out of my line of sight. Unbelievable. These I just love seeing this sort of stuff and trying to figure out what the deer, turkeys, all the wildlife are thinking whenever you have all this. It's just a pretty neat, just kind of cool to come out and see this stuff and observe and try to, take note of everything. So, alright, back now. So, ended up having to take a little break there, the walk I was doing before lunch. My kids were starting to get hungry, and so I had to go take care of them at the house. And I've come across the valley behind my property over on my dad's ridge, and it's so dramatically different than over on my side. My side is a lot of cedars and pine, good sized cedar and pine thicket there. A lot of his pines that my dad had planted 40-45 years ago. A lot of them died out and started breaking off, falling over, and then I had some very, very young hardwoods coming up in their place. So a lot of poplars, maples, and a few oaks. Over here on my dad's side, it's mostly hardwoods, but down here on the lower side of the hill, the majority of it is ash trees, and most all of them have been killed in the past 3 to 5 years from the emerald ash borer. So it's pretty depressing to come up through here and see all these really large trees dead and broken off halfway over or just snapped off. And I mean, they make really good firewood if you can get to it before they start to rot, but there's a lot of it down over here. So we'll see. But that's the other thing, though, like I saw the other day on my side, all this decaying matter on the ground is just increasing the insect life. And so I think the turkeys are using over here. I know they're roosting over here, but I think they're using over here pretty heavily, and they're just feeding around all these decaying treetops that are on the ground. So let's get up through here and see what we can find. Alright, so I've made my way up over here to my first destination. This is a little turn in the logging road and a little saddle up here, and the turkeys usually use in here pretty heavily. And not, unsurprisingly, there is some scratching activity in here. Not as heavy as what it has been in the past, but definitely one of my favorite places. As far as if I had to pick somewhere to hunt in the woods, this is one of those places over here on my dad's side. I don't really have anywhere on my farm, on my property, that's really good hardwoods turkey hunting area. They just don't use in the woods on my place the way they do over here. Mine, over on my place, they're usually in the field. So very different type of hunting. When you're in the field, it's not uncommon to see them 200 yards away, and you're working them to try to get them to come in. Whereas when you're hunting these hardwoods with these dips and hollers and sinkholes and everything, they can pop up 25-30 yards out, and if they come in quiet, you have no idea they're anywhere around. So pretty exciting hunting as well. It's not the same as calling them in from off in the distance and watching them come strutting in, but it's exciting nonetheless. So let's see what else we can find. Got a lot of turkey scratching activity right in here. So ironically, I killed my bird last year sitting at the base of that tree right there. He came out here quiet, no gobbles, no nothing. My buddy Dave called him in, and I dropped him at about 45 yards. He was a little bit farther off than I thought, but managed to get him. So they are using in this area again this year. That's a good sign. Well, crap. Oh well. Walking out this logging road here, and being real quiet, not recording, not taking pictures, not anything. And right down here, about 20 yards in front of me, I spooked a jake. Popped up, flew out across the valley. He wasn't a big mature tom, but still good to see one in here. There's a lot of scratching activity right in here. So I think this is roughly the area where they've been roosting, and it's still probably 4.5 hours till dark. So they'll make their way back into this area, and I haven't seen the hens yet. It was just that one jake. So let's keep on going and see what else we see. Hey everybody, so after coming over here and walking around doing some scouting the other day on Saturday, it's Tuesday now, lunchtime, I decided to come on out and set the ground blind up for the boys. So a little change of plans, not change of plans, just a little addition. So my son, obviously, he's going this Saturday, assuming he can get over this cough that he's got right now. But my 10-year-old son's going to go turkey hunting this Saturday morning, and his buddy, who's 12, who he's never hunted before, his family doesn't hunt, he's asked to go with us, and he's asked before in the past about turkey hunting and deer hunting, and so he's going to come over and spend the weekend with us. He's not going to hunt. He hasn't completed his hunter safety course. He's in the process of taking it right now, but he's just going to kind of tag along, see what it's like, try to get a feel for what hunting is about, and just kind of take in the whole experience here. So if everything goes according to plan, he'll probably have his hunter safety course complete by mid-April, which would still leave him probably another 3, maybe 4 weeks of turkey season left, and we can get him out here and try to get him a bird. I had him out shooting yesterday. He came over to the house they're on spring break, and he came over and he was shooting, and he was dialed in pretty well at about 30 yards using my 12 gauge. So not too worried about him and his shooting ability. He was very good with the gun. He shoots guns at his grandfather's farm. So it's just the hunting is new to him. So looking forward to that. Always good when you can introduce a new kid or a new hunter, new individual to hunting. So got this blind set up, staked out a couple of other spots where we can kind of set up, and I can put up my little Primos blind, not a full ground blind, just a little 2-panel see-through blind for the boys. So do my best to try to get them in position where they can be successful this weekend. So let's see what happens.